Good morning, everybody. Um, Up a dirt road today. As you can see, I'm actually not up a dirt road. I'm got a virtual background of the dirt road, mostly because it's a bit blowy today, and I don't have high-tech equipment, so it would be full of wind noise. So I thought I'd do it uh, here in my room, in my office. Um, so thanks for joining me. The topic today is really about uniqueness. I gave it a bit of a kind of a half kidding title called Don't Call Me Non-Fungible. For those who are not in the digital world, a non-fungible token is kind of a thing these days, which is a digital asset that's unique and can be traded as only unique, and people are buying and selling them for sometimes serious money. But it kind of goes to what I think is the main point I want to talk about today, which is our uniqueness. I mean, clearly, for starters, we're not assets. We're humans. Um, Unfortunately, sometimes people can treat each other a bit like assets, meaning lots of our relationships can be pretty transactional, but we're not assets. We are, in fact, unique, divine, infinite beings. But I think so often we dig in the wrong places for our uniqueness. And I think the greatest symptom of that, or what I see more and more and happen in my life too, is we go to the self-help world and there's a growing number of possibilities for self-help. Again, I think it's wonderful and it really does open doors for people to begin to heal what are often deeply traumatic experiences in their life that get in the way of them being who they want to be. But I wanted to put forward just a perhaps a different approach to that, which is um, so much of the self-help world is, I think, getting the permission of the ego to let us go. That we think our healing is healing the stories that we have built in our lives. Consciously or unconsciously, we build stories. And those stories are about who am I? Who is who is my small self? Do I relate well to people? What are my skills? How do I present to the world? Why do I feel so unworthy? Why am I full of shame? Why do I feel so guilty? We have lots of why questions and we want to solve those so that we can be better and feel happy. And me too. That's been my experience. But I think if I can share one experience that really changed this for me was the recognition that if I keep digging for what's wrong, there's a never-ending tale. Never ending. We have lots and lots of what's potentially wrong. And if you add ancestral, then we have generation upon generation upon generation of trauma. What's wrong? If we keep looking for what's wrong, it is an endless, deep hole of sometimes despair. And so I had the experience of enough already, enough. I need to figure out what's right about me. And I think this is really important for all of us. We need to understand that what is the non-fungible bit? That is, what is the most unique thing about us? And there's a paradox here because I think if we really dig deep to find the small self or our essential self, it doesn't reside anywhere that we're aware of. Where is it in your body? In your brain, in your heart, in your arm, in your foot, in your leg? Where does the self reside? In the Buddhist tradition, if you dig deep, there is no self. And in fact, I believe that's true. There is no self definable by the external elements of our life, our body, our mind, our senses, our experiences. our self doesn't dwell there. So the paradox is the more deeply we can experience that actually we have no self, paradoxically, there's the freedom. So then the stories of our lives, the stories that our ego continues to tell that we need to solve and need to fix, become less and less relevant because who we are is undefinable, infinite, beyond time and space. That's our essential self that cannot be fit into any container. Therefore, we don't need to tell stories about who we are. We just need to surrender to our no selfness. And again, paradoxically, when we really surrender to the no selfness about who we are, we by nature become servants because what's there to do? Help others. Because you don't need to help yourself because there is no self. That's a beautiful place, a liberating place to be. And again, I think somewhat paradoxically, it's absolutely unique because in every moment you can be what is required. So, of course, we live in the world. So the ego is not evil, it's not our enemy, but the things that we used to think were so important are suddenly, well, not suddenly, took me a long time, are essentially not that important. So then, of course, I have a certain kind of personality, certain skills, certain gifts, certain weaknesses, certain limitations. I can use those because otherwise I'll just sit silently in a cave, which is what a lot of teachers in the past did, sat silently in a cave because how do I be nothingness in a world full of somethingness? But without needing to cling to an idea about myself, I'm free then to use my limited body, experience, mind, sense of humor, whatever, good looks, whatever it is, for the sake of others. Naturally, we are imbued with the desire to serve, which is just another way of saying with the nature of love, to love. So that's what's unique. That's what's unique. We are a unique expression of infinite awareness. And does that mean then we just sit in caves and just be spiritual? Actually, no. It actually means the opposite. Then we can operate with freedom in the world, in business, in our families, in whatever we undertake, whatever moves us or we are moved to be. That's liberating. So, something to ponder. You are not a non-fungible asset. You are a non-fungible human, a spark of awareness. So that's a wonderful thing. So I hope you enjoyed the wander up the no track today, and I'll see you again in a week. Thanks a lot. Take care.